What's your take on what Joey Merlino's been saying online too?
He's probably the biggest disgrace that the mafia has ever had come out. Not as far as like just because he's coming on YouTube. Like if another one, if Joey Merlino, that little, they call him a punk, a weasel, a scam artist type guy. If he would just come out and own up what he's doing, he he's chose going on social media, YouTube, to make money because he could never make any money on the streets. He was a guy that was a thief, a petty thief, a guy that would rob, steal, ask people for money, not pay them back. I was in prison with uh, captains in that family. He was hated. I was just talking recently to a guy that never cooperated with the government that was in prison with Nicky Scarfo. Nicky Scarfo was a real boss, a dangerous boss. Some say he was too homicidal, but Nicky Scarfo was going to kill Joey Merlino, his uncle, and his father. And they said that Nicky Scarfo, which I know this for a fact because our family in Western Mass faction of the Genovese did business with this Bruno Scarfo family, and I know everything that was going to happen about that kid. They took his father down. Joy Molina's father got demoted from a underboss to a soldier. You don't do that back then. He was going to get clipped, and his uncle ended up becoming an informant. Joey was shelved, banished from coming around this anywhere in the circles of the mafia, and he was going to kill all three. The problem is Nicky Scarfo kept going to prison, and he kept going in and out, and then finally he went to prison for the rest of his life. So it never materialized. But Joey has a horrible. Philly and Eddie even said it. Joey Molino was the biggest piece of shit ever to come out of Philly. Robbed his own friend's mother's jewelry. Just a total scumbag. His own personal life with his own, he wants to talk about people's families and wives. He's got to look in his own wife, what his own wife was up to while he was in prison. What she was doing. Getting abortions and being involved with other men, and he comes home to that. And the Italians call that a cornudo. That somebody that's okay with their wife having sex with other men, and is okay with that and stands, just idle by and says, yeah, they're okay with it. They call it in Italian a cornudo. And the New York Post labeled him as a cuckold. We all know what that is. Guys like to watch their wives have sex with other men. And the New York Post said that. I didn't say that. So that's public knowledge. So he's a disgrace to the mafia. He's shelved. He's probably the first guy in the history of the mafia to, and they can call him a boss, but I can dispute that. But go from a reputed boss to a shelved nobody.